Good morning, Central Baptist Church family. Yes, I am in the attic again, and this does not mean my wife has been contentious, nor has my wife banished me to the attic, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But it's because, honestly, my wife's quite the opposite. She is what Proverbs 31 describes as the virtuous woman. I'm going to read the verse. You know what Proverbs 31 is about? I'm going to read the verse anyways. Proverbs 31 verse 10 says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." And then it goes on to list all these incredible qualities about the virtuous woman, that she's a hard worker, that she's faithful, that she's righteous, that she leads her family spiritually, her children spiritually, and all these wonderful things about the virtuous woman. And these are the characteristics, these are the traits that all young women should seek to have in their life. All women of all ages, honestly. You're never too old or too young to be a virtuous woman. And these are the traits that all young men should be looking for in their spouse, to be honest with you. I think what's interesting about Proverbs is it talks a lot about women. It really does. Now, again, this is a father writing to his son, just trying to give him some wisdom. And what I think is interesting is over and over again, Solomon tells his son, listen, women have power over you. Women have incredible power over you. They have power to seduce you to immorality. They have power to drive you insane and make you want to live in an attic. And they have power to make you a better man, because that's what a virtuous woman does. Verse 23 says, her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders in the land. She makes her husband a better person. And I would definitely say that's the truth in my situation. My wife makes me a better person. She enables me to be a better minister. She enables me to be a better father. She enables me to live a fantastic life. She's a virtuous woman. But I've seen far too often men whose lives have been ruined and held back because of a contentious spouse, because of a woman who makes her life more miserable. I tell Bible college students all the time, I always tell them, be careful who you marry, because your wife can make or break your ministry. Now that can apply to all areas of life, but ministry especially. So those of you young people who are looking to go into ministry, be very careful who you marry. It is very, very important. I would say this to everyone, but especially if you're looking to go into some sort of leadership, if you're looking to be an influencer, if you're looking to make a difference in people's lives, your spouse is going to make a difference. Your spouse is going to affect that greatly. There's no doubt about that. And I've just seen far too often great men, and I'm like, man, why isn't that guy more successful? Why doesn't that guy have a bigger church? Why isn't that guy accomplishing more in his life? And then I meet his spouse, and everything becomes a little clearer. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm not saying any names. I'm just saying I've seen it far too often where a contentious spouse, a woman who doesn't know her place, or a woman who has a bad spirit, a woman who is a gossip, a woman who is just always meddling, can really ruin the effectiveness of her husband's ministry, her husband's job, her husband's life. And it can go both ways. It can absolutely go both ways. It's just the context of the passage is always, obviously talking about a woman, so I'm just speaking that way, but it goes both ways. So young women, be careful who you marry. You can marry, I think the Bible speaks a lot more about men being lazy, men being drunkards, men having no motivation, men being abusive. So again, it goes both ways. The Bible definitely gives us these character traits to look out for, both positively and negatively. So be careful who you marry. It'll make all the difference in the world.